It is time for your WIN podcast for super busy professionals sharing transformational moments. Your host, Chu Tang.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Win podcast. Today, I have my very special friend and guest speaker, Sara. Welcome, Sara.
Oh, happy to be here, Ju.
Thank you, Sara. Sara, would you share a scene in your life where you felt a transformation that changed your life forever?
Oh my goodness. I have a lot of scenes, but if I had to choose one, I would have to pick this one. When I was in my 20s, my country, Cambodia, was taken over by the communist Khmer Rouge regime. They came in to invade the country and the military takeover. And I was far away from my family because I was attending college in the capital city while my whole family were in the province.
Mm-hmm.
When they came in, they shut down the whole country. That means they shut down the transportation and the communication line, and everything else was completely shut down. But for me, there was no transportation for me to go back home to be with the family. You know, when everything happened to our life, good or bad, we want to be close to our family. In my case, I can't because they shut down. So I could not even call or write a letter. So we are separate, desperately separate from each other without knowing what happened to the other. So I eventually got caught into, they put me in the forced labor camp. This camp, it was a very difficult camp. They push us to work very hard, long hours in the rice field under the intense hot sun. And they only give us very little food to eat, very little time to sleep, and no time to rest. We work 7 days a week.
Wow.
15, 16 hours a day. So with that condition, I became sick. Many other people became sick also. But in my case, I had to go to work every day, even though I was sick, because if I don't work, I don't get any little food that they give. So I had to push myself to work in order to receive a little bit food to eat. So I keep working until one day I cannot push myself anymore. I get sicker and sicker and sicker. The sickness is like malaria, typhoid, and this kind of sickness is not easy to recover. And when I got too sick to work, they sent me to the infirmary. The infirmary is now the hospital. It's the place where the sick people stay and waiting for the time to die.
Oh my God.
When I realized that all those people in the infirmary, eventually they will die, and I will die too, because I will catch more disease from those people.
Right.
And since there is nothing to help me to get better, I will die. So because I'm far away from my family and I don't know what happened to them, my mind was thinking about them. Say, oh, I wish I can be with my mom to help her out because she just recovered from an illness. She was paralyzed for 5 years. She just recovered from that. And I wish I was there to help out. So my mind was with my family all the time. I want to be with them. So And then I realized that if I don't do something, I will die. And I don't want to die. I want to live. So I have a hope that one day the situation will change. So when they change, I want to survive. I want to live, to go home. So my goal is to survive. So I start praying. I pray. At that time, I remember the story that my mom read to me when I was very young. And from that story, I realized there is God, God that is bigger than anything, God bigger than Buddha. That's my innocent young mind was thinking about from that story. So now that my life is about to expire, I pray to that God. I say, God, please help me to survive. So I pray every night. So one morning when I got up early than usual, I walked out of I realized that I feel a little bit strange. I feel I have extra energy today. So I decided to walk out from that infirmary. And I went out and I met a one kind team leader. She saw me and she feels sympathy for me because I was so skinny, so sick, and she wanted to help me. And she realized that I'm so sick that she need to do something. So she talked to the people that work in the kitchen and asked them if they can take me in to help out. So they did. They took me into the kitchen. So that's God's answer my prayer. I got to work in the kitchen. I get to eat extra food, work in the shade. So I feel better. So God knows where I need to be. So that's where I recover and I escape my death. If I didn't get that help, I probably died a long time ago. So I realized that my love for my family, my mind that I'm thinking about my family all the time, it keeps me alive. It gives me strength, give me energy that I try my very best to keep going to survive. So I did not give up. If I did not have that expectation that one day I will see my family, I probably just give up because it's just too hard. Life was just too difficult.
And there was no medication, right?
No.
Oh, wow.
So yes, so I survived, and if I didn't survive, you didn't get to meet me. So
I know, Sarah. I read your book. It was very hard. Yeah. But your book, I don't know whether I shared it with you. After reading your book, you gave me, when you talk about God and how you move on, you gave me closure, actually. And give me closure with my own grief. Because, I lost my family members too in the killing field.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's my transformation story. Because even though I gone through a very difficult time, but I have love in my heart. I have purpose. My purpose is to survive. My purpose is my family. So it's bigger than myself. I don't just want to survive for myself. It's nonsense.
Yeah. Wow. That's very heartwarming. Yep. It's the love. Yep. The love that kept us going, right?
Yes. Everybody deserves to have love in their heart, because when you have love, you have more energy. You have strength. You're stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, biologically, there's a hormone that we release called oxytocin. And that's very, very important for our immune system too.
Yeah, definitely. There was also some research that was done regarding love and intimacy. concerning the life, how life is related to love and intimacy.
Yeah, and I believe in praying
Mhm.
because when I was in Vietnam, I almost died of meningitis, and then my grandma spent whole night praying. Yeah, and then the next day, I survived.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
wow,
Thank you.
wonderful. Well,
Thank you so much.
thank you for asking me that's that difficult story, but
Yeah,
I don't mind sharing because it gives people hope, because
yeah,
people
yeah,
don't realize that they can be amazing. They can be their own wonderful, but they don't realize it.
yeah, it's true. And I recommend all our listeners to check out your book. Yeah, I really enjoy reading your book. Yeah.
Yeah, they can find my book on my website only. It's not
Yep.
on Amazon.
Okay. We're gonna share a link on this podcast.
Yeah.
When I post this podcast, yeah, we're gonna share your link and yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you guys like this episode, come back, and then until then, stay happy and hopeful. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.